Have our penultimate final before our customary lunch break here at Adria Karting Raceway, and it is time for DD2 final number 1. Nico Jörg and Jakub Bezel, both under the KSCA Austria team banner, line up on the front row. Jan Schwitter and Zander Przyblak on row number 2. David Remy and Piotr Wisnicki, row 3. Imre Berizdo and Jusso Pantela round out the top 4 rows, with Jan Schloza and Daniel Mahacek, who's looking for a bit more pace today, rounding out the top 10. Then it's Friedrich Jerich, and in 12th position it's Max Fleischmann from Germany. Oliver Breitenbach and Aleix Navarro Amigo round out the top 15, ahead of Zenderua, Manuel Tenschert, Ronny Göttler, Dionysius Livris and Luca Muneretto, who completes the top 20. Then it's Sebastian de Grand, Florian Breitenbach, Mike Zerscher, Markus Heimbüchner, Brandon Smith, Imke Arts, Marcel Steiner, Louis Puel, Ricardo Alberti, Daniel Oberreuter, Antoine Gonçalves, Nico Brügger and Willi Leinen having to start from last position. The Finn has had a bit of a torrid time in the qualifying heat stages, having been nearly flipped by a collision with himself and Dionysius Livris in the first of his 2 qualifying heats before the side pod went forlorn, so to speak, and ended up not being there, with the race directors saying, that's it, you're being parked for a mechanical. So the Finn has a lot to do, and he seems in very good spirits, nevertheless, always smiling. You might want to call, of course, Kimi Räikkönen is the Iceman. I think Willi Leinen might need a nickname, reference his smile. So might be cool as ice, I think, on that one. But let's see what he does over the next 14 minutes plus an additional lap. So Nico Jörg, who is the points leader coming into finals day. So he was leading the, took 4 points in total. But in terms of the count back, ahead of Jakub Bezel, he took pole for finals day. So 14 minutes plus an additional lap in this first of 2 DD2 finals. So very well controlled by Jürgen Bezel. Jörg is on pole on the right hand side of the track. The revs rise on the Rotax engines. Do we go green? Looks like we have done, as they go firing in, and it's 2 by 2 going through. Well, it's the 2 KCSA Austria drivers trying to go at it at the front, but Jan Schwitter got the jump on one of them. He's up into second, heading into turn 4. So Jan Schwitter looking to definitely make some inroads. Looks like a few other drivers have made some as well. So Maxi Fleischmann has got past Friedrich Jerich, as it's definitely kicking off at the front of the field. Schwitter looks to be down in 3rd position now, in front of one of the drivers. It could be Nico Jörg, because Jakub Bezel has definitely been on point this weekend. They come through the right-hand hairpin at number 9, through the left kink, heading into the turn 10 final right-hander. Onto the start-finish straight they go. Let's find out who's leading, shall we? Jakub Bezel is leading by just over a 1/10 and a half, and Zander Przyblak from 4th up into 2nd. If anyone remembers what happened to the young Belgian at Euro Trophy Open back at Genk 5 weeks ago, there was contact in one of the heats and he went spinning off at turn number 1 with the right drive axle and the wheel going off from the back of his car. So that wasn't what the young Belgian wanted, but he now has an opportunity to get on the top step of the podium and maybe secure one of the 4 tickets available for the Rotax Max Euro Trophy, the Rotax Max International Trophy at Le Mans this coming August. So, Bezel leads, Przyblak in 2nd position. And Schwitter at the moment looks to be in 3rd place, and they've got a little bit further up the road. So they're starting to break away of the top 3. So, 33 all started. So Schwitter 3rd, Wisnicki up into 4th place. So Piotr Wisnicki up from 6th, made up 2 places. Nico Jörg, who started on pole, now in 5th. Jan Schloza, Peter Bezel, Bristo, Fleischmann, Pantela, Jerich, Mahacek, Tenschert, the number 432 of Breitenbach. Sorry, my apologies, because I know that there are 2 of them. And that is, just bear with me a second. So, Breitenbach in the 4:32. That's Oliver Breitenbach. And then Dionysius Libris has got up into 15th already. Daniel Mahacek has dropped down the order a little bit. He's gone down into now what is effectively 11th position behind Juuso Pantala, who rounds out the top 10. So 11 minutes, 7 seconds plus an additional lap in this DD2 first final of the weekend and of the season. Oh, but a side-by-side there going into turn number 5. That was for 5th position. Oh, it's going 3 wide into turn 6. Oh, crikey. I tell you what, the Rotax family of drivers definitely can't stop from entertaining me, and it's definitely happening here under the fantastic sunshine in Adria. It might be hot under the collar for the drivers, but I tell you what, they are putting on a fantastic performance here. Now, that's the real development. I didn't notice this because David Remy hasn't even completed a lap or so. He's out. That's a real shame for the Swede. Now, what happened there? Was there contact? Because I'm just looking around the track at the moment. I can't see the Swede's Dan Holland racing car anywhere. So he might have parked it. So there might have been a technical issue of some description. Or was there contact that forced him to retire? Because he did start in 5th position. So one of the main contenders this weekend now on the back foot. No points for David Remy this time around. The first of 6 finals that will take place throughout the 2019 season, as Dionysius Libris is really charging forward, trying to make up a few places as the Greek driver is currently sitting in 15th, and also Aleix Navarro Amigo, 15th, currently running in 16th, so just outside of the points. Zenderua, no, Navarro Amigo out of the points as Libris up into 14th. Zenderua now up into 15th position. Wisnicki past Fleischmann for 8th. Peter Basil past Jan Slozar for 5th position. So it's going to start changing. As Jan Schwitter, I think, has he just been passed? Yes! Nico Jorg, our pole sitter, after the qualifying heat stages, now back up into 3rd, and will now try and start to hunt down, if he can, Zander Schiblak in 2nd position, and Jakub Basil, who currently leads by about 0.4 of a second. Meanwhile, it's getting a bit dicey at the back part of the field, going through turn 8. Oh, if you wanted action aplenty, you should be here at Adria, because under the Sunday sunshine, the sun might be baking us, but I tell you what, the drivers are resolute in wanting to put on the best performance they can for themselves, but also to help those entertain those that are watching, and with families far and wide from all across the globe, so to speak, especially as far east as Japan. We truly have a multinational field here, as Louis Puel goes up the inside of Daniel Oberheuter going into turn 4, pushes Oberheuter wide, then nearly loses out himself to probably maybe say like Antoine Gonçalves. So Gonçalves still sitting at the back end of the field. Not a great time for the French driver on the Sodicart chassis. So at the moment, Jakub Basil continues to lead. Schiblak still in 2nd, but is now just over half a second adrift of the 4:01. Nico Jorg up into 3rd position, but has just taken a 10th out of Schiblak on that particular occasion. Peter Basil now up into 4th place. So the two Basils making some good work of the opportunities that they're having. So Peter Basil started, would you believe it, 6.5 minutes ago in 13th position. So we now are at the halfway points of the time left here in this first of 2 DD2 finals here at Adria Karting Raceway. Just an hour and 15 minutes south of Venice Marco Polo Airport. So, top 15 at the moment with just over 7 minutes remaining. Jakub Basil leads from Zander Schiblak, Nico Jorg, Peter Basil, Jan Schwitter, Jan Slozar, Piotr Wisnicki, Imre Brizdo, Max Fleischmann, Daniel Mahacek, who's now up past Juuso Pantala for 10th position. Jerich, Tenscher, Drua and Dionysius Libris round out the top 15. Aleix Navarro Amigo is ahead of, looks to be Florian Breitenbach in 16th and 17th. Luca Munaretto's been a bit of a dark horse as the Italian, now up into 18th place. Ronny Göttler and the other Breitenbach, Oliver Breitenbach, rounds out the top 20. So we have 6 minutes and 15 seconds on the clock left to go. Jakob Basil still leads, but Nico Jorg is looking very menacing on the back bumper of Zander Schiblak coming out of turn 3. Looks like the Austrian has got the legs coming out of the corner. Jan Schwitter is now down in 5th position behind Peter Basil, who is actually going faster than the 3 in front. So the 402 now trying to catch up with the 3 leaders as we get towards the latter stages of this first final. 5 minutes and 43 seconds to go on the clock, plus 1 additional lap. So the gap between Basil and Schiblak, well, Jakob Basil and Zander Schiblak was just over 4.5 tenths. What's it going to be this time when they come across the start-finish line? Nearly 5 tenths. And, well, the fastest lap of the race. Oh, well, what has happened here? Jan Schwitter, in the meantime, what has happened to the Swiss driver? He was running in 5th position, now down into 11th place, according to the timing screen. So we're just going to keep an eye out. So what has happened to Schwitter? That's my biggest concern here, because that was a massive drop from around 5th position, a drop of 6 places. And yes, that is the case, because I think the 2 battling in front are... Now, where is Fleischmann in consideration to all of this? Now, has Schwitter got an issue that he's having to race with? That's a real disaster for the Swiss driver. So 4 minutes and 42 still to go here, plus an additional lap. Jakob Basil's lead over Zander Schiblak still is around about 5 tenths of a second. Nico Jorg was slightly slower on that lap. Jan Slozar sets his best effort on a 50.889, trying to catch Peter Basil, but Peter Basil was just over a tenth of a second quicker than Nico Jorg. So I've just seen Max Fleischmann come through turn 3. Oh, now Schwitter has been, I don't know whether there was a compromising situation that pushed Schwitter back down the order. Was out of my line of sight, to be completely honest. So this has really changed it. So there are changes up and down the order. Schwitter now down in 14th position. What's going wrong for the Swiss ace? He was running. He started 3rd in this race. He was really looking forward to getting into today, but now it's all starting to go wrong here behind in the office. So the gap now between 1st and 2nd extends to 0.631 seconds. Nico Jorg slightly quicker than Zander Schiblak on that last tour. Peter Basil now catching up with them too, and he was a 10.5 quicker than Nico Jorg on that last tour. Max Fleischmann, in the meantime, is now behind Daniel Mahacek. These two were battling the Euro Trophy season last year with Manuel Tenchert. So it's going to be very much a case of how much damage limitation can Jan Schwitter do. He's going to get only 2 points in this. And with Florian Breitenbach rounding out the top 15. So the top 15, Jakob Basil, Zander Schiblak, Nico Jorg, Peter Basil, Jan Slozar, Piotr Wisnicki, Imre Bristo, Daniel Mahacek, Max Fleischmann, Jusso Pantela, Zenterua, Friedrich Jerich, Dionysis Livris, Jan Schwitter, and Florian Breitenbach. That's your top 15. We still have 2 minutes and 45 seconds left remaining, plus an additional lap in this particular first final of the day for the DD2s. And we've also had a retirement as Aleix Navarro Amigo has parked it, unfortunately, on lap number 10. So the Spanish driver also not going to get any results. Now let's see where Ville Villilainen is in the meantime. Well, the Finnish driver has got from 33rd to 23rd. That's a gain of 10 positions for the Finn. So this will help in terms of his starting order in the grid for final number 2 a bit later on this afternoon. So we're into the last 2 minutes or so. And just keeping an eye on proceedings. Well, it's happened. Nico Jorg has got past Zander Schiblak, and here comes Peter Basil. No, it's happened. It's happened. Now, was that an overtake around the outside of Zander Schiblak? He's normally privy to doing that to other people. Now he's had the boot put on the other foot, so to speak. But now he's fighting back against Peter Bezel. So it's going to be very interesting in this battle for third position in the latter stages. 1 minute 25 plus an additional lap to go here in this first DD2 final of the weekend here in Adria as they go flying through that left kink. Hard on the brakes, neatly kiss the apex on the inside of turn 10, then floor the throttle across the start-finish line into turn number 1. Sweep through it as much as you can with full throttle. Then try and just control, feather the throttle coming into turn number 2. Then it's a short blast up, a slight left-hand kink up to turn number 3. Then it's a short blast up to turn 4. Then it's a 180-degree left-hand hairpin before they go into the 90 right at 5, or maybe make that 120 degrees at 5. Now into this nice little tight complex at 6 and 7, as the leader now is coming through. That's Jakob Bezel into turn 9 at the far side of the circuit. Then it's a short blast, foot on the throttle, through the left kink, round the final corner, and we have around about 30 seconds to go. So I would think, yep, it's going to be last lap around next time. So Jakob Bezel's lead is now 0.8 of a second ahead of Nico Jorg. Now what's happened with Zander Schiblak? He's got Jan Schlosser closing in. So the Belgian's going to be in trouble if he wants to get as many points as possible. He's in 4th at the moment, so the two Bezels, 1st and 3rd respectively. So Nico Jorg is in a Bezel sandwich at the minute, if you pardon the pun. But we have the time now expired. It's going to be final lap next time around. Leaders now starting to come through into the left-hander at turn 8. Round the right-hander at turn 9. Short blast up to the left-hand kink, heading into the final corner. So last lap board will now be first seen by Jakob Bezel. Nico Jorg will now see it. Peter Bezel, Zander Schiblak, Jan Schlosser. That's the top 5, all separated by 2.6 seconds. There's been some other changes. Zenderu in the meantime has actually got up to 9th place. So the 4:35 from Slovenia now really coming into his own, having started outside of the top 10, outside of the top 15 nevertheless. So where did he start? He started in 16th position. That's a gain of 7 places. But let's concentrate on the leaders now, as Jakob Bezel comes through turn 8 at the left-hander for the final time. Now round the 180-degree right-hand hairpin at turn number 9. Up the short blast through the left kink. Round the final corner comes Jakob Bezel in the 401 to take the checkered flag and win DD2 final number 1 here in Adria. And just over 9/10 of a second separated him and pole sitter Nico Jorg. Peter Bezel, what a drive. So 2 Bezels in the top 3, 1st and 3rd. And Peter Bezel started in 13th, a gain of 10 positions. Zander Schiblak tried his very best, started from 4th, finished 4th, with Jan Schlosser running at the top 5. Wisnicki, Brizdo, Machacek, Fleischmann, Pantila, Jerich, De Ruhr finished in 12th, ahead of Dionysis Livris, with Florian Breitenbach, Jan Schwitter, of all people, rounding out the top 15. But Jakob Bezel wins in the first DD2 final. Completing the order from 16th onwards, it's Oliver Breitenbach, Manuel Tenschert, Luca Muneretto, Marcel Steiner, Tony Göttler, Ville Leinen finished in 21st position. So there's a chance for points for the Finn. And then second final a bit later, then it's Zurcher, Arts, Brugger, De Grand, Heimbüchner, Smith, Brandon Smith, Louis Puel, Ricardo Alberti, and Antoine Gonçalves being the last of the 30 classified finisher, with Daniel Oberreuter finishing on lap 14, Alex Navarro Amigo on lap 9, and unfortunately, starting 5th, David Remy only made it to the end of lap number 1.